Hey guys, it's Kendall Jenner here. First off, thank you so much for being here. I love that you clicked on this video, and I promise you're in for something truly unforgettable. This isn't just any story. It's personal, it's romantic, a little scandalous, and it has one of those endings that will stay with you for a while. It's about one of my closest friends, someone I love and admire deeply, Miss Lila Hart. Now, let me take you back. Lila wasn't always the woman people whisper about in corridors or write think pieces about online. No, she was just this soft-spoken, fiercely intelligent literature professor at a private university in California. She loved coffee, old poetry, and wore glasses that made her look both intimidating and heartbreakingly beautiful. Her students respected her. I mean, really respected her. But one of them saw her differently. His name was Adrian. Tall, quiet, kinda mysterious. He wasn't your typical college kid. There was something about him that felt older, deeper, like he'd lived 1,000 lives before even stepping foot into Lila's classroom. He was brilliant, always the first to raise his hand, always ready with a quote from some obscure book that made even Lila smile in surprise. They had a connection. Not the kind that shouts at you with flashing neon signs. A number. It was subtle. A look that lingered a second too long, the way Lila's voice softened when she said his name, or how he stayed after class, just to ask questions he probably already knew the answers to. And then there was this one day, the day everything changed. It was raining, like cinematic level rain, the kind where the world feels like it's paused, waiting for something to happen. Adrian stayed after class again, drenched from head to toe. He had this nervous energy about him, pacing a little before finally blurting out, "Do you ever think about us?" Lila froze. Not in fear, but in shock. Her eyes searched his face, looking for some sign he was joking, but he wasn't accedy. You see, Adrian had fallen, not just a schoolboy crush. This was deep, real. The kind of feeling that builds slowly, like poetry written over months, line by line. She told him that it was wrong, that she was his teacher, that she had a career, a reputation, and boundaries she couldn't cross. And he nodded, understanding. But he didn't stop coming to class, didn't stop listening, didn't stop loving her. Weeks passed, and something started to shift. Maybe it was how he started sharing parts of himself with her, the pain of losing his mother, his dreams of becoming a writer. How he wrote poems about her without ever saying her name. Lila read those poems, and she knew she started to fall too. It happened one late afternoon. The campus was empty. Golden hour light poured into the library. They were going over one of his short stories. Their hands brushed, and neither pulled away. Adrian looked at her, eyes filled with every emotion he'd kept locked away. "Tell me to stop," he whispered. But she didn't, and then they kissed. It was soft, hesitant, electric, the kind of kiss that rewrites everything, that makes time blur, that makes you question every rule, every line you swore you'd never cross. From that moment, everything was different. They didn't rush. They met in secret. At art museums, quiet coffee shops, the edge of the pier where no one from campus ever went. Every second they spent together felt like it was borrowed from some other life, a life where they weren't teacher and student, just two people, hopelessly in love. But real life doesn't like secrets, and eventually someone found out, a student saw them, took a photo, posted it anonymously on a gossip forum. The university caught wind. An investigation started. Lila was suspended, Adrian was questioned, their story turned into scandal, headlines, judgment, whispers in hallways. Even people who had never met them suddenly had opinions. I remember calling Lila that night. She was broken, not because of the job, but because she thought loving someone should never feel like a crime. Adrian wanted to go public, to fight, to tell the world they were real, that their love was pure. But Lila knew better. The world doesn't care about purity when there are rules involved. So she ended it. She resigned, moved out of state, started over, left behind the city, the university, and the boy who made her heart race. But here's the bittersweet part. Years passed. Adrian graduated, became a writer. His first novel, it was about her, about forbidden love, about a teacher with poetry in her soul and a student who loved her beyond reason. It hit the bestseller list within weeks. He never named her. But those who knew, knew. And then one day, at a book signing in Seattle, she showed up. He saw her from across the room. Same eyes, same softness, but this time, no fear. He walked over. They didn't say much, just smiled. And in that smile was everything. Regret, love, forgiveness. They didn't rekindle. They didn't start over, but they remembered. And sometimes that's enough. So, yeah, she was only his teacher until one day changed everything. But wait, what if that wasn't quite the end? Because sometimes love doesn't care about endings. After that book signing, Lila returned to her quiet life. She was teaching again, but this time at a creative writing workshop in a community college. More low-key, less pressure, but something in her had shifted. That moment with Adrian had reignited something. A spark, an ache, a question that refused to go away. What if? Meanwhile, Adrian couldn't stop thinking about her. Every book he wrote carried traces of her. Every interview, every signing, someone would ask about the muse behind his words. He'd smile, but say nothing. One day, Lila received a package. No return address. Inside, a manuscript, unpublished, titled The Second Chapter. She read it in one sitting. It was their story. But this time, it didn't end at the signing. It followed a parallel world where they met again, where they let go of fear, where they built a life. Lila cried. Then she booked a flight. She found him at a small cottage by the sea, his retreat from the world. He was surprised, sure, but not shocked, like he'd been waiting for her. No grand gestures, no fireworks, just two people sitting on a porch, sipping wine, and talking about all the words they never said. She stayed a week. When she left, they didn't promise anything, didn't label it, but they both knew something had started again. Months passed, more visits, more calls, more quiet mornings filled with laughter. And then, finally, on a rainy night, just like the first one, Adrian asked her something he never dared to before. Would you write our story with me? And she said yes. Together, they wrote a novel, a true one. Raw, flawed, beautiful. And this time, they signed it together. Lila Hart and Adrian Vale, and maybe that was the real story all along. So if you stayed till the end, thank you. This was longer, deeper, maybe more emotional than my usual stuff, but I needed to share it. Because love isn't always perfect. It's messy. It's painful, but it's also worth it. Like, comment, and hit that subscribe if you believe in second chances. And hey, share your stories in the comments. You never know who might be reading. With all my heart, Kendall out.